Good, happy Saturday evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Good Evening, New Hampshire, where we have a little bit of everything for you in this program. So, let's begin and let's get started. First up, let's begin with your local news. New Hampshire takes part in annual Drug Take-Back Day. Saturday marks the first time officers collected vaping devices as well. Let's take a listen to this video from Jess Moran.
At Beltates, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltates Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
Communities all across New Hampshire took part in the 18th annual Drug Take-Back Day today. The national program gives people the opportunity to drop off their unwanted prescription drugs to officers, no questions asked. For the first time, the program also accepted vaping products. Police say the initiative is an important part in the fight against the opioid crisis.
They end up at teenage parties. They end up in the hands of other adults that use them to sell them or to use them. And so this gives them an opportunity to drop these off. They get burned. They don't get used or misused by anybody else.
Now, if you missed today's event, you can check with your local police department to learn where you can safely dispose of unwanted prescriptions or vape products.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And switching gears now, let's go into weather. Weather right now is clear, 39 degrees. Weather for tonight, partly cloudy this evening, then becoming cloudy after midnight, low 39 degrees, winds light and variable. For tomorrow, cloudy with periods of rain, high around 50 degrees, winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour, chance of rain 100%, rainfall near an inch, locally heavy rain possible. And switching gears now, let's go on into sports. Good, happy Saturday evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Sports with Riley King. Let's begin. First up, Boston Bruins. They are currently playing a game right now against St. Louis Blues in Boston, and the current score right now is 0-0. The Boston Celtics, they are also playing a game. Boston Celtics at New York Knicks. And you can watch it on NBA TV, MSG, NBSB. Houston Astros at Washington Nationals tonight for Game 4 of the World Series. Game time is at 8:07 p.m. and you can watch it on Fox. And now let's take a look at some of the high school football scores from the games today. We have some of the scores so far. Campbell versus Monadnock. The final score of that game, Campbell 40, Monadnock 27. Franklin versus Winnisquam. The final score of that game, Franklin 6, Winnisquam 48. Guilford Belmont versus Sanborn. The final score of that game, Guilford Belmont 22, Sanborn 0. Goffstown versus Salem. The final score of that game, Goffstown 29, Salem 28. Hillsborough Deering Hopkinton versus Epping Newmarket. Hillsborough Deering Hopkinton 41, Epping Newmarket 20. Hollis Brookline versus Alpine. Hollis Brookline 51, Allvine 36. Newport versus Laconia. Newport 14, Laconia 6. Plymouth versus Merrimack Valley. Plymouth 35, Merrimack Valley 7. Windham versus Pinkerton. Windham 7, Pinkerton 28. And those are some of the scores from today's high school football games. Multiple reports on the next GM of the Red Sox. Let's listen to that video from NBC Boston Sports.
Here's what you need to know about Chaim Bloom, the man who appears poised to become the next general manager of your Boston Red Sox. The 36-year-old Yale grad has spent the last 15 years helping build the little engine that could in Tampa, turning the Rays into perennial contenders despite one of baseball's lowest payrolls. He's considered an innovator, a risk taker, and a keen judge of young talent, qualities the Red Sox need as they overhaul their farm system and try to remain in contention while cutting payroll, and you know what that means, possibly trading franchise cornerstone Mookie Betts. That won't be an easy job, but Bloom is considered a superstar in the making, and this would be a landmark hire.
Okay, and there you go. And that does it for this Saturday evening of Sports with Riley King. I hope you all enjoyed this Saturday evening. I'll see you back here tomorrow night for another edition of Sports with Riley King. Have a great rest of your Saturday night, everyone, and bye. Okay, and there you go on sports. And switching gears now, let's go on into some New Hampshire life things. Tonight in New Hampshire life, this is what we are talking about. Restaurant Roundup, a list of new restaurants, expansions, and some anticipated openings. Let's take a look at that list for all of you. Let's begin with some new restaurants, I believe. Let's start with that list. Mr. Kim's in Portsmouth. Bontic Restaurant and Gin Bar in Portsmouth. The Refinery in Andover. The Ohana Kitchen in Exeter. Tavern at the Sunset Hill House, Sugar Hill. Georgia's North Side in Concord. Office Lounge in Rye. Or Mill Bar and Grill in Warner. Acoustic Lounge in Laconia. Cestilio Restaurant in Bristol. Lunch and Door Taco in North Conway. 27 North in North Conway. Pesty Pasta in Manchester. Testy's Kitchen in Somersworth. Expansions. Wings It coming to Newmarket. Buckley's Bakery and Cafe coming to Hollis. The Big Bean coming to Durham. Donut Lover coming to Exeter. Friendly Toast coming to Bedford. Tucker's opening up in Merrimack. 110 Grill coming to West Lebanon. T-Bones coming to Concord. And most anticipated restaurant, CO Italian Ristorante in Durham. And that is a look at some new expansion restaurants and anticipated restaurant list. And that is it for this evening edition of Good Evening New Hampshire with Riley King. I hope you all enjoyed this edition of Good Evening New Hampshire. I'll see you back here tomorrow night for another edition of Good Evening New Hampshire. Have a great rest of your Saturday night. Good night and bye, everyone.